Hi guys, this is Sarah. I've had a few people ask me how I do my swirls, so I thought I would just go over kind of how I go about doing it. There are a lot of different ways to do swirls in melt and pour, but this is just the way that I feel most comfortable doing it, and I find it fun doing it this way. So a couple of things first, just for anybody who's never even attempted doing swirls before, I just wanted to go over a couple of things to consider when you're thinking about trying it. The biggest thing I would say would be your temperatures. You want to try to get your temperatures down low. So for me, I find that for the goat's milk base, it's around 120 is going to be the perfect temperature to swirl. Now with clear, you can't get it down, well I can't anyway, can't get it down quite that low. So I'm usually around like 125, 128-ish, somewhere in that range, and that will produce the best swirls for me. It's also going to depend on where you get your base, so you're really going to have to play with your base and see how low you can get it and still be able to pour it. Once you know those magic numbers, I'm telling you, it's so easy. It's not hard. The other thing to consider is colors. That's actually very important because you're going to get more definition if you use contrasting colors, or if you put white in there too. If you swirl white in with your colors, that's going to make a difference. It's going to make your swirls pop out better. It also makes a difference when you mix your bases. So some of your swirls going to be goat's milk or white or something like that, and then the other is going to be a clear of some kind, because those are going to give you different values in your colors. So I'll just show you a couple of examples of different things to expect. This guy right here, this is actually a blue, as you can tell, swirled with a really pale yellow. Now these are both done in a goat's milk, both the blue and the yellow. So you can see it's a softer effect. You still get the swirling, but it's a softer effect. This one, which is what I prefer, is you've got the green is a goat's milk, the white is goat's milk, and then the maroonish reddish color, that is clear. So you can see, if you put the two next to each other, the difference in the definition in the swirls. And that's what does it. It's the mixing of the clear and your white, and also this adding of just a little bit of white in around it. It just really makes those swirls pop. Now here is a bit of a it's not a fail, but it's not what I go for. This is what it will look like if you pour it too warm. So what you see happens here is that your one color will kind of mix a bit more into your other color, and also because, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I believe that the clear is more dense, so it will fall to the bottom. So that's what happens when you pour too warm. You really got to get those temperatures down if you want to get a bar that has swirls through the whole thing. This is just an example of, I don't know if you can even see it, just vaguely. This is actually two tones of yellow and a white swirled. And to me this is a fail, only because there's not enough definition, so you can't really tell. And I figure, you know, I mean, if you're going to go ahead and do the work of a swirl, you want to make sure that it's going to show up, right? So this is a fail. If I was going to redo this, which I am, I would definitely make one of the yellows in clear, the other one in a goat's milk or white, and then have white, plain white in there as well, because that will really show up the different colors. Okay, here we go. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be remaking this guy right here, and we'll see what happens. So let's get this bad boy going. I just checked my temps. Everything's down around 120-ish. This guy's still a little hot. It's getting there though. And when you're doing this, you're just gonna just keep stirring. If you get a skin on the top, stir it in. Because you know you want it thick, so you might get a few clumps in there. No big deal. Seriously, it's still soap. It's just soap that's already started to harden, but that's okay. So you just don't want the whole thing to be completely gloppy, right? Let's check the temperature on this guy one more time. Okay, we're getting there. Still not down quite far enough. Now, if you take a look at this bar, this is the one that I said to me was a fail, but this is also an example of what you may think is a fail isn't necessarily what somebody else thinks is a fail, because I sold out of those really quickly. So, you know, being artistic is a very personal thing, and you get it into your head, you get this image in your head of what you want it to look like, and then if it doesn't turn out, you're so disappointed, and you don't like it because it isn't what you pictured. But for somebody else who's never seen it before and luckily can't see inside of our heads, they think it's great. So just go for it. Just try it, even if you don't like it. As long as it's, you know, just the design part that you're not happy with, or the scent, then just put it out there, because you never know. Now, if you've over-scented it or put something questionable into it, then I wouldn't put it out there. Okay, I think we're ready. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. Give these all one final stir. So, you're just going to start by kind of like drizzling it in, you know, not too much at a time. Get yourself a little bit. I like to get a pretty good first little base on there. And then since this guy is really setting up, I'm going to go with this guy next. This kind of golden yellow color. And look, I'm just like twirling it around, zigzagging it, but don't pour it too fast, right? Because then you're just going to get big blobs of color. Now this is interesting to note. This is my clear. In it goes, I'm swirling it. And I only put poppy seeds in the clear part. So if you have trouble with like suspending things, try doing a swirl and only putting your exfoliant in the one part, because then it'll be caught in your swirls anyway, so it won't matter if it like falls to the bottom, because it's still going to be in there. Now here I'm going to go up high. See? And now I'm just going to, I got a few air bubbles, because when you go up high like that, you're going to get some. This is the way she goes. Stir, put some more of this guy in. Zigzag maybe. And honestly guys, that's all there is to it. You're just doing it like that. And if you start getting too clumpy to the point where you can't, like this guy, whoa, he got really clumpy. Just stick it back in the microwave for a few seconds, just to warm it up enough so that it's not clumpy. And excuse me if you can see me right now. I really hope you can't, because I've been really busy and we've had some illness in the house, so I'm behind on things. So of course, you know, I'm the last one to take care of myself, but oh well. I'm actually just wearing the international outfit of soapers everywhere. And there we go. Just pouring it in. Get some bubbles. Gonna spray the bubbles. Honestly, you're just doing that. So it's kind of like a layer, but it is, but it isn't. You're layering, but you're swirling at the same time, I guess. So and you're just gonna keep pouring it in there. Whoops. And yes, this can get messy, but oh well. It's soap. No big deal, right? Okay, here we go. I'm also using a new base to me. Well, it's not a new base to me, but they changed the formulation a little bit, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work for me. But you know what? That's life. Taking chances. See what happens. Okay. Almost done. Okay. And this guy needs to be heated up just a bit. And that's really all there is to it. Just keep your temperatures down. Mind the colors that you're going to use. Think about using white in there somewhere just because it makes your other colors pop. If you're going to use black, use it in a smaller amount because it's so strong, right? It's such a strong color, you really don't need much to make an impact. So then I have a few poppy seeds here, and I'm just going to sprinkle just a few more on the top. Just like that. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask me. I'll try to answer as best I can. I never consider myself any kind of an expert whatsoever because I'm always learning, you know? And I just think, I know some things, but I'm by no means any kind of an expert. I'm a researcher and an experimenter first. That's what I am. Okay, and then I'm just going to put the rest of this on, and that I'm hoping that that will just kind of cement down some of those poppy seeds that I put on the top. There we go. I'm just going to give it a little spray. And there we go. There is the remake. Okay, thanks guys. Talk to you later.